Commander Replay. Sylvia and Khorvath asked the question, where's your mana now? As we face a bunch of high-powered combo decks. Next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Sylvia and Khorvath today. And we got another high power game going. We're going to keep this hand. We've got 2 lands. We've got some acceleration with the Signet. We've got a Path to Exile, Scroll Rack. Most of the things we can want unblockable. Not doing too bad right here. We've got the Spectre Shroud. Can't wait to get someone with that with Double Strike. So Jhoira's going to get to go first. Going to lay down a Mox Diamond on turn 1. Seems pretty good. And here comes a Riddlesmith. Yep. We don't have the type of fast mana that I'm necessarily wanting for this hand, so that's maybe not the most amazing, but we're going to have to make do. Brings it to our turn 1. We draw a Sun Titan, ways away from that. Play the Ancient Den, and pass, sit on the Path to Exile. Here's a Noble Hierarch for the Chulane, yep. So we're on Sylvia and Khorvath. This is a Voltron control deck. This is not Knights and Dragons. There are very few creatures in the deck, and it's really going to focus on being Voltron and trying to control the board through various things. Have a really good amount of removal in the deck. And we've also got some nasty stuff, like when you double strike someone with a Spectre Shroud, they discard 2 cards. There's Destructive Urge, which makes them sacrifice lands. Stuff like that really cut back on people's resources, so that's the kind of stuff we'll be doing today. Can be pretty nasty. Creatures with power 3 or greater do not untap during their untap step. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Probably need to get rid of that at some point. Sylvia is okay naturally, but once we put something on it, it's not great. Dockside Extortionist. What's going to get 1? No, it gets 2. Oh, right. Our land is an artifact. Yep. That's probably a card I need to add to this deck. I built this deck list shortly before this came out, so against this Jhoira deck, that thing would get us a ton of mana. Riddlesmith into the Chulane. Yep. Ooh, that's an Aetherflux Reservoir for the Vilis. Brings it to our turn. That's a Wear Tear. That is very interesting. Play the land. Oh, man. Do we tap out for the Signet? That's so dangerous. Like, that's so dangerous. No, I mean, we have to Path to Exile right here. Kataki's War Wage. Oh, that's not good. One of our lands is an artifact. This should get Dave pretty good. We may need to path that. Our deck can't really do so well with that in play. Fortunately, this deck does not have a Pyroclasm. It has a Volcanic Fallout. Volcanic Fallout just feels so slow in this environment. So Dave sacrifices 2 treasures. Discards a Devastation Tide to the Riddlesmith, I think. Here comes Jhoira. Oh, this is the bad choice right here. Here comes an Everflowing Chalice on 0. Like, can we win at all if Kataki is in play? And I'm going to shoot Jhoira, as painful as it is. So, Dockside Extortionist into the Chulane, yep. We'll see, maybe the mono black opponent's got some removal. That would be nice. Opponent pays for both of their artifacts. Bring it back to our turn. Yep, we get the Kataki War Wage trigger. Pay for it. We should do this the other way, actually. Draw land. Come on, land. Not a land. Oh, gross. Yep, I was worried about that. Gonna send the Kataki's War Wage into the Vilis, yep. Dave's gonna get himself some upkeep triggers. See what things he wants to keep around. Lets the Meekstone and the Everflowing Chalice go. Pays for the Mox Diamond. Here comes Mana Vault. Yep. Here comes Jhoira back to play. Yeah, we're probably in trouble. Nate's thinking Counterspell on the Jhoira. Sure. Jhoira down. And it is getting mighty expensive out of the command zone now. Gonna send both creatures into Chulane, yep. So, a bunch of upkeep triggers for the Vilis. Pays to keep everything around. Loses the Mana Crypt Flip down to 31. Plays a Bojuka Bog. Gonna hit Dave with it, yep. Devastation Tide was one of the notable pieces in there. Springleaf Drum as a card. Meekstone. Brings it back to our turn. Ancient Den will trigger. Probably gonna leave the Battlefield Forge just in case we need red. Really need a land off the top right here. There's a land. Whew. And we got to get the Scroll Rack in because we need to filter our draws a little bit. And we'll pass the turn like that. Ooh, that's a Smothering Tithe for opponent. We're tapped out. Blah. With Kataki's in play, you're not going to get like crazy amounts of mana. Opponent lets the Mana Vault go to the upkeep triggers, yep. Pays for the Mox Diamond. Smothering Tithe will trigger. Does have a Scavenger Ground in play, so graveyards can get exiled. So, yeah, we're probably going to definitely going to put Sun Titan back into our library. Some of these big things. We need lands and cheap interaction is where we need to be right now. Dave going to keep on the attack. Yep. Oh, he's going to block with the War Wage. Okay. Nice. War Wage down, so we can actually untap with some mana. We have a lot of things to do. We need to shoot this Smothering Tithe. We need to get things into play. There's an Ethereum Sculptor. Yep. There's Foundry Inspector. We need to find a Volcanic Fallout. Get rid of all this nonsense. Maybe the mono black player could actually wipe the board. If they did, that would be swell. Wins the Mana Crypt flip. Here comes Allah's Dust. Sweet. It's not going to hit any of our stuff. Nate's going to Teferi's Protection. Okay. So his stuff won't get blasted. Dave's going to lose some things, though. Sounds good to me. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Destructive Urge. Nice. Oh, man. What do we need to do? Okay. So first things first, we should Scroll Rack. Godo. Sun Titan. Destructive Urge is a ways away from being good. And Spectre Shroud is also a minute from being good. So we'll put those back. Godo to the bottom of the pile, Sun Titan second from there, Destructive Urge, and Spectres. There's some lands, and there's a Weathered Wayfarer. That's all good news. Play... Don't want to shuffle my library yet. I actually like a lot of those cards. We need lands first before we can do anything with them. So, play the Strip Mine. Play Weathered Wayfarer. Play Boros Signet. And we will pass turn like that. Feeling a little bit better about things now. I think... opponents do have more lands than us, so we can activate Weathered Wayfarer. I guess that'll cause us to shuffle our library, though, which maybe not the best, but... Oh, that's a Sun Titan. Katakis, back to play. No, I'm going to go for the land. Okay. Dave going to pay for Smothering Tithe. Sure. Opponent also going to pay for the Smothering Tithe trigger. Sure. Here comes up Nixilis. That'll probably shoot the Sun Titan, I would imagine. It's good news. That's good news. Yep, shooting the Sun Titan down. Excellent. Brings it back to our turn. Not going to pay. Got a lot of things I want to do this turn. There's the Spectre Shroud. Use Weathered Wayfarer. Get Ancient Tomb. Play Ancient Tomb. Get... Are we on our commander? We are on our commander, aren't we? Yeah, cast Khorvath. Why not? So, cast Khorvath. We can partner. Why not? Give ourselves a shuffle. Swing into the Ob Nixilis with haste. Ob Nixilis down. And we'll pass the turn like that. So next turn, we're probably looking at something like Mask of Memory and Sylvia. And that'll get us a lot of extra card draw, which seems nice. Here comes Chulane into play, yep. Here comes Sakura Tribe Elder, yep. You can draw a card, do the land thing. I could really use a Feast and Famine to untap our lands. That's kind of what we're looking for right now. I don't know, maybe we'll activate the Scroll Rack, see if we can find a tutor for a Feast and Famine or something like that. Smothering Tithe will trigger. Gives them the treasure. Jhoira back to play, yep. Mana Crypt flip on the Vilis opponent. Smothering Tithe will trigger. That's a Machias. Uh-oh, that needs to get shot. We do not have the removal for that at the moment. Yeah, threats starting to pile up on board. Not sure how we're going to deal with them. We could draw a Sunforger. That's a thing that we could do. Not going to pay for the Smothering Tithe. This will be our 8th land. We get one shot with the Sunforger to stop nonsense. And the other thing we could do, too, instead of Sunforger... I don't know if Sunforger's enough right here, because everyone has, like, something nasty in play. We could go Spectre Shroud on Vilis, which means... that would empty... We go Spectre Shroud and Sylvia, and that would empty their hand. But I suppose they just cast their commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, then at that point they would just cast their commander, and that's a real problem. But I'm also worried about Chulane. I mean, I think it's got to be Sunforger. Use all the colorless lands right here. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Get Plateau. Put Sunforger on Khorvath. Swing into the Vilis opponent. Try to keep them off of Aetherflux Reservoir of Life. Unfortunately, Sulphurous Blast does not get Chulane. Would get Jhoira. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem worth it in this moment. Opponent goes down to 24, 7 commander. Yep. Here comes Eternal Witness. What's in their graveyard? Katakis is in their graveyard. Sun Titan's also in the graveyard. Sun Titan get Katakis? That's what I would do. No, just going for more lands. That's interesting. That is interesting. Because they could just go Sun Titan for the land. Opponent's going to crack a land. Biomancer's Familiar. Seems good. Activated abilities of creatures you can control cost 2 less. So this will cost 1? Oof. Fiend Hunter. Let's see where they point it. Whew, gonna go after the Machias. Alright, alright. It's good news. It's good news. And opponent's gonna bounce it in response. Nasty. That is really nasty. That was a nice play. I've done a similar play in the Gerard deck. I have sack outlets in there. Pretty sweet. I don't get to do stuff like that all that often, given the decks I play. And feels good when I get to do that. One's gonna crack fetch. Yep. Opponent gonna recast the Fiend Hunter. See if they go after Khorvath. I imagine that they would. Yeah, I'm going to try to go after Khorvath. Alright, I guess we gotta activate Sunforger. Hoping to avoid that. What did I put in this deck for situations like this? Looks like only the Teferi's protection? Okay, yeah. May need to think about, rebuff the Wicked. Something like that. Cast Teferi's protection. So, definitely need a Sulphurous Blast on our turn. Problem now is that we still really need that Feast and Famine. I don't know where we're gonna get it. Smothering Tithe, trigger. Ooh, that's a Lion's Eye Diamond. Dave will get to draw one card. He hits a land. We're safe for this turn, so the plan is going to be to Sulphurous Blast on our turn and blow away all these creatures. Try to shut off as much nonsense as possible. More Smothering Tithe triggers. Would not be sad to see a board wipe. Although, every time I hope a mono black player is going to play a board wipe, they never do. I must run more board wipes when I play mono black than everyone else. Everyone else, I don't know. Everyone plays like 3 and then just tries to tutor for it when they need it, which, I don't know. I'd rather be up around like 6. When I know I need it, I want to have it. I want to have it in my hand, ready to go at all times. Oh, that's an Necropotence. We should probably shoot that. Mounting number of enchantments that we need to shoot. At least Vilis isn't in play. See how low opponent wants to go. They do have a Reliquary Tower, so they could go really low if they wanted, but... Question is, how much stuff can they do at instant speed? Now, when you have a Vidalcan Orrery, it's really crazy because then you can play all those cards at the end step. I had that happen once, and it was, like, overwhelming, the amount of power when you have Reliquary Tower, Necropotence, Vidalcan Orrery. Opponent draws a bunch. Goes down to 16. Brings it back to our turn. We draw a land. Lands are reasonable. Not going to pay for the Smothering Tithe. Play the land. So, I mean, part of me wants to go Sunforger, swing into Vilis, get them with the double strike, take them out of the game, but I don't know if they have instant speed interaction. If they do, that's a problem. Let's just see what happens when we equip Sunforger right here. Alright, we've got a 7-4. I mean, I think we try it. I'm going to go for it. We may get blown out. Things could go wrong. That's part of it. Opponent's going to Necro for some more. Only works on their turn, though, so it's not going to help them at this point. Ooh, opponent goes down to 7? Let me just think about this. If we use the Sunforger now, that would be 3 damage. Khorvath would get in there for 6. Oh yeah, we could just swing everything in the air. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. So this will prevent us from actually having to wipe our own Sylvia, which seems nice. Do we not have Sulphurous Blast in the deck? Tell me there's no Sulphurous Blast. Ugh. Can we dispatch something? We can dispatch something. Volcanic Fallout doesn't hit the Fiend Hunter, which is a real problem. Thinking Dispatch on Chulane is probably where we want to be. Oh, I gotta add a Sulphurous Blast to this deck. Makes me sad. Dave's got Jhoira, which is a 3-3. It sucks that, like, they're not printing removal that's strong enough to deal with all these, like, new ability-type cards. It's pretty frustrating. Fallout would get Eternal Witness, we don't care that much about. Biomancers, which makes things a little worse for them. Yeah, I think it's gotta be Dispatch. Make sure we have Metalcraft. 1, 2, 3, we do. Shoot Chulane. Chulane down. We get a partner. We'll skip. Swing into the Vilis opponent. Hope they don't have removal. Opponent gonna keep activating that Necropotence. Just gonna go all the way down, it looks like. And they Necropotence themselves out of the game. Alrighty. I think as far as we're concerned, tear on Smothering Tithe? Yeah, we should tear on Smothering Tithe. That's a thing. We should have done that a long time ago, quite honestly, but we'll do it now. Opponent has a lot of mana. Here comes Chulane back to play, yep. So thankfully they can't use that tap ability yet. Hopefully they don't find a way to do it. Here comes Chulane. That's actually a really big headache. They've got 4 mana they can pump into it, so they can't pump everything up just yet, but once they start putting counters on all that stuff is going to be huge. We just gotta hope Dave whips right here. He draws a card and passes. It's either a land or probably like a Cyclonic Rift, would be my guess. Simian Spirit Guide, eh? Can get some extra mana. Key to the City can make us unblockable. It's a thing to think about. Mask of Memory draws us cards, which is probably where we need to be right now. We need to clear the Chulane. That's the thing that we need to do. Should probably get Sunforger re-equipped. That'll probably be first and foremost. Teferi's protection is down, so we'll just have to eat a Rift. Do we have Pyroblast? Ooh, no Pyroblast in this deck. We're in trouble if it's a Rift. So in that case, I think let's go Key to the City. We probably need to try to, like, finish it here. That's the problem. The Chulane Fiend Hunter thing is about to come back online. It's not amazing. None of these cards solve our issues, so I think it's Scroll Rack time. We'll go for all 3. Hope on some removal. There's an Armageddon. Simian Spirit Guide to the bottom, Shroud in the middle, and Mask on top. We could play an Armageddon. Opponent still has 4 mana that they can make with the thinger. So the problem is, if we play Armageddon, opponent's got enough treasure tokens that they could pay 1 to bounce Fiend Hunter and then recast it and get rid of Khorvath. Yeah, I don't think we're ahead enough to play Armageddon, really. However, Weathered Wayfarer does get us more lands. I'm actually going to send both at Nate because, and I'm not going to make it unblockable because I actually need to get rid of this Chulane. Like, we can't do the things we need to do with Chulane in play. So if he wants to block, he can block. Looks like he's got responses, so that's not amazing anyway. He's going to Rift on Khorvath. Which will make Sylvia not flying and not double strike. No, it'll still have double strike. Okay. So Volcanic Fallout will kill Sylvia. That's not amazing. I guess activate Sunforger. See what we've got. Not having a red elemental blast in here is a big, big, big problem. I think we're on Swords the Chulane. Oh, the treasure tokens. Dovin's Veto. Yep. Oh, I knew I should have shot that Smothering Tithe earlier. Problem is, there's an Aetherflux Reservoir out, so that's scary too. So Khorvath getting bounced. 2/2 double strike still kills every one of opponent's blockers, so unless they want a double block or something. Opponent blocks with Fiend Hunter, that's actually huge. That's basically the thing that I need to go down, so... Fiend Hunter down, what does that bring back? I don't remember. Oh, I think it was the Mono Black players thing. Okay, so Fiend Hunter down, okay. I feel a little bit better about that, actually. Play the Mistveil Plains, and I guess if opponents have enough lands, the Weathered Wayfarer will grab another land, although we have Mask of Memory on top of our deck. I don't really want a Weathered Wayfarer. Do we activate? We activated Sunforger. Okay, never mind. It's already been shuffled. I'm sure this is going to be bad. It's a Karamitra. Okay, yeah. Oh, you want what we could have did last... Ooh, Dave's going to Mana Drain Karamitra. All right, nice. What we could have done last turn was... No, do we have enough? Oh, going to Swan Song the Mana Drain. Okay, Karamitra going to resolve. Okay. At least that eats up some mana from both parties. Mana and cards. Game plan is probably Sunforger, Boros Charm, Armageddon. That's what we should have did last turn. There's a Mentor of the Meek. Okay. Gets a land, draws a card, drops a land in. Yep, that all seems like stuff. Dave's got an artifact. See how lucky his draws can get. He can cycle the Chromatic Star, essentially. Oh, that's a High Tide. Oh boy, here we go. Well, he's got one card. I mean, Mind Stone. Okay. Gonna keep the chain going. I'm just gonna tap out our Weathered Wayfarer right here, get a land, and deal with all this later. What's the best land that we have? Rogue's Passage, probably? Scavenger Grounds? Flagstones, just in case? Flagstones, just in case. Grim Monolith, yep. Slowly going up in mana and cards. Nope, that looks like it for now. It's going to bring it back to our turn. We draw a fetch land, play the Flagstones. Instead of the Armageddon plan, which I like, I think I'm thinking about double Volcanic Fallout. We need to make sure we have enough to do it. It's going to cost a lot of mana, so it'll be 10 for 2 Sunforger activations plus 2 plus a Mistveil. Yeah, that's going to be 12 mana. I don't know if we have that kind of mana. We are 1 short on that. So maybe that puts us back on the Armageddon plan. The question is, can we survive big hits from both players? It seems questionable. Seems pretty questionable. What else could we do? We could Sunforger Feast and Famine. That's a thing we could do. That might be the way to go. So Sunforger, Enlightened Tutor, then use Scroll Rack to get the Feast and Famine. So that'll be 5, that'll be 6, plus 5 more is exactly enough, and then we need to make sure it connects. Opponent's got white creatures that can block, so that's not going to work. We got Key to the City. We could discard something. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Equip Sunforger. Activate Sunforger. Cast Enlightened Tutor. Oh, we could get Winter Orb. Maybe that's the card we get. Both players are... Well, Dave, yeah, maybe not yet. Very soon, though. Darksteel Mutation's also a card. Opponent's stuff all is hexproof. Get Feast and Famine. Activate Scroll Rack. Put a land back. Get Feast and Famine. Cast Feast and Famine. Activate Scroll Rack. Put a land back. Get Feast and Famine. Activate Scroll Rack. Put a land back. Get Feast and Famine. Activate Scroll Rack. Put a land back. Get Feast and Famine. Cast Feast and Famine. Equip Feast and Famine. Hope nothing goes wrong. Use Key to the City. Discard a Plains. Swing at Nate. Get the Feast and Famine trigger. Now we're rolling. Discards his last card. It was a Solemn Simulacrum. That's a good one. Oh, that double strikes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What can we do at instant speed? Doesn't look like all that much. We can Misfail Plains something. Let's put Enlightened Tutor back on the bottom. And activate Weathered Wayfarer. Get a land. Let's get Homeward Path just in case. And now I think we go Sunforger, Boros Charm, Armageddon. And then just try to survive the turn. I think as long as we stay off Ancient Tomb, I think we're good. Equip Sunforger. It's going to be really close if we do. I mean, I guess the question is there anything safer than doing that? Doesn't really look like it, honestly. We don't have, like, great protection from just lots of creatures. Activate Sunforger. Well, looks like we might be using the Ancient Tomb. Gonna be really close. Cast Boros Charm. Give ourselves Indestructible. Here we go. Armageddon. Opponent's lands get blued up. We're the only one with lands. But between all of them, they have a lot of combined damage. The next thing we probably need, like, if everything just swings out at us, the next thing we probably need is lifelink or more ways to fog. I don't know that we have any of that. That's kind of what sucks about, like, these, like, quote-unquote competitive decks is, like, you need so much early interaction that when you get to the late game, you just don't have things you want because Luxodon Warhammer is just too slow for these type of settings. Like, you just need so much early spot removal, and I don't know how we're getting through this next one. Yep, opponent just going straight to combat. Sending everything. Does this have Vigilance? I guess it does have Vigilance. No blocks. We go down to 10. I think we really need, like, an extra combat spell. That's where we need to be right now. Cloud Key for Dave, yep. That's, you know, that could keep him going. He's got cost reduction of 2 on artifacts, so watch, even after blowing up the lands, he's still going to take this one. There's a land for him. Ooh, no attacks from Dave. We stay at 10. Key to the City on taps. Oh, man, we got to think about that. Okay, so if we put Sunforger on Sylvia, that'll give it 8 power. With double strike, that would be 16. So that's lethal on Nate. The problem is then dealing with Dave. So that'll be 3 to equip, 5 to hold up. Our Khorvath will be 6. We shouldn't really use Ancient Tomb. Do we draw with Key to the City? How much mana do we have? We have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 without Ancient Tomb. 10 when we play Homeward Path. So what did I say? That's 5 and 6? Yeah. No draw on Key to the City. Oh, we have Feast and Famine. We can make all this work. Especially since Dave didn't attack us. Draw with Key to the City. We draw Tenza. Tenza is useful. Play Homeward Path. Put Sunforger back on Sylvia. Let's get Tenza into play. Use Key to the City on Sylvia. Discard the Mana Confluence. Swing at Nate. First Feast and Famine hit. We could technically look at an extra card if we put Khorvath in the command zone. I might do that with Scroll Rack. And down he goes. All right, let's, with this trigger on the stack, let's Misfail Plane some things. Let's get Boros Charm back. Actually, no, let's get Swords back in case we need to gain life. Actually, what else? Is there anything else that stops Dave? Misfail Planes the Swords. We're going to Scroll Rack for 1. Get some kind of card advantage going. Put Khorvath into the command zone. Or put Khorvath into our library. We get an Aven Mind Sensor. You know. Could be alright. Goes to the command zone. With the thing on the stack, we can cast this Aven Mind Sensor because it's got flash. That's pretty sweet. And this will give us important blockers. We should have... Oh, nope, we blew up all the land, so Weathered Wayfarer not doing much this moment in time. Feast and Famine will trigger again. And now we cast Khorvath. Actually, we're better off just shooting Jhoira. Probably. Start by shooting Jhoira. Let's go Abrade on Jhoira. Re-equip Sunforger just in case. Strip Mine the island. Equip Tenza. Dave activates his Lion's Eye Diamond and scoops it up. Nice! Getting there, Sylvia and Khorvath. Yeah, and oh man, I didn't bring the tools that we needed. Like, there really needs to be a Red Elemental Blast in the early part of this deck. We didn't have that Sulphurous Blast that we badly, badly needed. Oh, we got lucky. We also got lucky that Dave didn't attack us right there. He's so afraid of the combat step that he just had a wide open shot to us and would have put us to very low life. So yeah, the mass land destruction. I know many people frown upon it. However, when you get into a meta like this where anything goes and people are trying to win the game as efficiently as possible, we were facing a Jhoira Storm deck that can win in like 4 turns. And I talked to Nate after the game. He was piloting the Chulane deck. He said that on his next turn, he was just going to recur Cyclonic Rift with Eternal Witness endlessly. So yeah, we had to blow the lands up. When you get into an anything goes meta, people are trying to win as fast as possible. Attacking mana bases should be a tool that's on the table. And quite honestly, I've messed around with land destruction a bit. It's not as effective as people think. If you're behind on board, you can't Armageddon and still win the game. If someone is a bigger creature than you, if they have more creatures than you really can't Armageddon. I know everyone's got that one story where there was some huge flyer in play and someone played an Armageddon and the game just ended, or if someone just played it in a way to just like drag the game out and make it terrible. That's not how you should be playing it. You should be playing it as a means to say, I'm ending the game. In general, I'm against plays that just like unnecessarily drag the game out, but if you've got the biggest threat in play and you lay down an Armageddon, chances are people are just going to scoop. And I'm completely fine with that if you're in a meta that calls for that. If people are playing more casual, mid-power kind of decks, then you shouldn't be laying down Armageddons. If people are trying to combo off in like 6 or 7 turns, then why not? Why can't it be a tool that's on the table? And like I've said, it's not as good as people think. We almost lost the game right there. Like, it almost didn't work. Armageddon is way less good than Cyclonic Rift. Like that, you'll lose way more games to Cyclonic Rift than you will to Armageddon. Because like I said, you cannot play it if you are behind. Anyway, taking a look into the deck construction. This deck is very similar to the Akiri and Bruce deck, and honestly, Akiri being 2 mana with Vigilance is just a lot better. Trying to live the double strike dream on Sylvia, 3 mana is so slow when you get to these like competitive-esque kind of settings where everything's just fast. It's turn 1, turn 2, the game is out of control. You don't have time to just like sit back and wait till turn 3 to cast something. But the fact that Sylvia and Khorvath have evasion built into themselves into the command zone means you don't need to spend as much time trying to get evasion, which is really nice. So there are some good things about it. They go late just a little bit better than Akiri and Bruce do. Akiri and Bruce are very good in the early game. Because of the 2 mana stuff, you can do things like Springleaf Drum with Akiri and the Vigilance. You're still getting the attacks. You lose a lot of cool things with when you go to Sylvia and Khorvath, but again, that late game ability of they both have flying and double strike is pretty good. And maybe it's just a case that I just need to put them into the Akiri and Bruce deck and just have access to them and they partner for each other and all that kind of good stuff. But the biggest problem is just eating up the card slots because you need to have so much removal to be able to stop everything. So yeah, able to walk away with a win right there. Feeling good about that. And we got to see the Armageddon. What I can't say if it's better than just some other good 4-drop card right there. Like, I don't know if, let's say a card that I've been using a lot is Helm of Possession. If just stealing something is better right there. I don't know. But, it made it so opponents couldn't really do anything. It stops their ability to really play Magic after that. So I guess it did something. But we weren't ahead like we wanted to be when we did it, so yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.